Hey folks, Sandamtod here on in my lunch break, doing a quick response video to Vampire Mike, Sega CD Universe. He did a car video. Thanks for the mention, buddy. I'm doing a standing by my car video. I'm on my lunch, but you did a video about what video game characters would you like to pull out of a game and slap around or beat the crap out of. I've got a couple, but it's not really that I want to like kick their ass. It's just I'd like to knock some sense into them or something, and they might be a little controversial. I know there's you know, back in the day there were a lot of like fighting games, and it seemed like a lot of the characters, it was just like you would sit and you would hate them, but they were made made to hate because there's no backstory to them. You know, there's no you know, real personality. So they're just fighting game characters, and you know, they're made to be cheap and difficult, so they piss you off. And mine was the one that I hated the most back in the day, that I found that one of the cheapest characters in the Street Fighter franchise when it first came out was E Honda, with that 1,000-hand slap. Now, if I pulled him into reality and he did the 1,000-hand slap on me, I doubt I'd be able to get one in on him. But that guy just drove me nuts. I felt like any of my friends that took that character, it was just cheap. There really wasn't a lot you could do to get by it if they just sat there and kept doing that over and over again. So that was one of the characters that always drove me nuts back in the day. But as far as like villains and stuff, I mean, you know, there's nobody that I can think of off the top of my head that just drove me insane. It seems like, in my opinion, actually video game like end bosses have kind of been watered down recently. It seems like none of them are really that tough or you know, I'm trying to think. The last few games I've beaten, it just seems like the end boss was a big build up and there wasn't a lot to it. But the two that I'd like to pull out of a game and kind of slap some sense into, one of them I know is going to be controversial, and that is Mario. Mario, I'm just not a big Mario fan, but how many times can you leave your character, leave your potential girlfriend in harm's way and allow her to get kidnapped? I mean, don't you think you'd learn after a time or two to keep a better eye on her or something? You know, I mean, it drives me nuts. I mean, it's the same scenario every time. Oh, so-and-so got kidnapped, let's go rescue them. You know, it's just like, you know, have a little common sense. Let's protect. I guess it wouldn't be any game, you know what I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. The premise behind it is annoying to me, that, you know, you're constantly letting your friend or girlfriend or whatever be kidnapped and having to go rescue them over and over. Now, I haven't followed the Mario franchise real closely. I don't know what the storyline behind Mario Galaxy and stuff is, but how difficult could it be? And the other one's basically the same type of deal, and that's Link from The Legend of Zelda. The same thing happens over and over. You know, the princess gets in trouble somehow, and he's got to go bail her out of trouble. It's just like, you know, why don't you keep better tabs on her or something, and you wouldn't have to go do this stuff all the time. So I don't know. I'd just like to slap some sense into him, say, hey buddy, wake up. If you wouldn't do this, you wouldn't have these problems all the time. So I don't know. There were a couple other like cheap fighting game characters that I didn't like, but I'll leave it at that, because fighting game characters, it's easy to hate certain characters if they've got certain moves that are hard to get past or whatever. One character that I loved and hated at the same time was in Mortal Kombat 2 was Shang Tsung, because he could change into anybody, so it was really difficult to defend against him because you didn't know who he was going to pull out on you. But at the same time, it's like if you could play him and you knew how to change into everybody, it was an awesome character. And at one point I did play him and knew at least 3 or 4 different guys you could morph into, like Scorpion and Sub-Zero and Liu Kang and stuff. So it was pretty cool. So anyway, those are my only ones, Mike. I mean, as far as like, you know, slapping some dudes around, I don't really want to really hurt anybody, but just say, hey buddy, you know, a little common sense here, you know, wake up. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Nice day here in Missouri. My batteries died in my camera, that's why I hadn't done a video in a few days. I kept forgetting to swap the batteries out so I could have it with me and record. So it's been a few days since I actually did a live video instead of these archive things, which I think people kind of dig the archive things and some people don't because they want to see the new stuff, but I really haven't bought anything or done anything, so it's just one of those deals that I'd rather put something up for you all to look at than nothing at all. So that's what I've been doing. And you know, we're going into 4th of July and stuff, and my birthday's this weekend. I'm gonna be 39, if you can believe that. You probably can by the gray in my beard, but anyway, I can't believe it. So anyway, don't know how much filming I'll be doing this weekend because I'll probably be out and about, but I'll let y'all go. And thanks for coming by. Good question, Mike, and see you next video. Bye.